Many people assume that since Latin America has historical ties to Europe, its residents must all speak English. This is a misconception. Latin America is a vast and diverse continent with a rich tapestry of languages, reflecting its unique history and cultural influences. While Spanish and Portuguese are the dominant languages, the linguistic landscape extends far beyond these two. It's easy to forget that Latin America encompasses more than 20 countries, each with its own distinct cultural identity and linguistic heritage. From the towering Andes Mountains to the Amazon rainforest, indigenous languages have thrived for centuries, shaping the region's linguistic diversity. To understand the linguistic landscape of Latin America, we must delve into its colonial past, a period marked by exploration, conquest, and cultural transformation. Unlike North America, where English took root with British colonization, Latin America witnessed the rise of Spanish and Portuguese as the dominant languages, shaping the region's identity. The arrival of Spanish conquistadors in the late 15th century marked a turning point in the region's history, as they embarked on a quest for wealth and power. The Spanish conquistadors, driven by gold and glory, established their dominance over vast swathes of land, from Mexico in the north to Argentina in the south, leaving an indelible mark on the continent. With them, they brought their language, which gradually overshadowed indigenous tongues in many areas, leading to a profound cultural shift. Similarly, Portugal's colonization of Brazil in the 16th century led to the spread of Portuguese, which remains the official language of the country today, influencing its culture, literature, and daily life. Despite the dominance of Spanish and Portuguese, indigenous languages and cultures have persisted, contributing to the rich tapestry of Latin American heritage. Today, the legacy of conquest is evident in the linguistic diversity of Latin America, where Spanish and Portuguese coexist with numerous indigenous languages, reflecting a complex history of colonization and resilience. The struggle for independence in Latin America during the 19th century was not just a fight for political freedom, it was also a fight for cultural identity. As nations broke free from colonial rule, they embraced Spanish or Portuguese as symbols of their newfound autonomy. These languages, once associated with oppression, were reclaimed and transformed into languages of unity and national pride. The adoption of Spanish or Portuguese as official languages helped to forge a sense of shared identity among the newly independent nations. The educational systems in Latin America have played a significant role in shaping the linguistic landscape. While English is often taught as a second language in schools, the emphasis on its acquisition varies widely. In some countries, English education is prioritized, with students receiving several hours of instruction per week. However, in other countries, English language instruction may be limited or of lower quality. Factors such as limited resources, teacher training, and differing educational priorities can all influence the effectiveness of English language programs. Section 5. The English Exception, India. To understand why English is not as prevalent in Latin America as it is in some other parts of the world, let's look at India. India provides a unique case study due to its colonial history and the subsequent integration of English into its societal fabric. India, once a British colony, offers a contrasting example. The British influence left a lasting impact on the country's language policies and educational system. English was introduced during British rule and has since become an official language alongside Hindi and numerous other regional languages. This dual language system is evident in government operations, legal proceedings, and public signage. The historical context of British colonialism in India, coupled with the country's linguistic diversity, led to the adoption of English as a lingua franca, facilitating communication among diverse populations. This adoption was not just limited to the elite but permeated various levels of society. Today, English plays a crucial role in India's education system, government, and economy. It is the medium of instruction in many schools and universities, and proficiency in English is often seen as a key to better job opportunities and social mobility. The widespread use of English in India underscores its importance in connecting a nation of diverse languages and cultures. Section 6. The North American Contrast. The linguistic landscape of North America provides another interesting point of comparison. This vast continent is home to a rich tapestry of languages, reflecting its diverse cultural heritage. When European settlers, primarily from England, arrived in North America, they encountered indigenous populations speaking a multitude of languages. These early interactions were complex and often fraught with misunderstandings, as the settlers and indigenous people navigated their linguistic differences. However, the sheer number of English speakers and the displacement of indigenous communities led to English becoming the dominant language. Over time, English spread rapidly, overshadowing many of the native languages that were once prevalent across the continent. The United States, in particular, never established an official language at the federal level, yet English became the de facto language of government, education, and commerce. This unofficial status did not hinder its widespread adoption and use in all facets of American life. This historical dominance of English has shaped the linguistic landscape of North America, making it distinct from Latin America. While Latin America predominantly speaks Spanish and Portuguese, North America's linguistic identity is heavily influenced by English, creating a unique contrast between the two regions. Section 7. Language and Identity. Language is intrinsically linked to cultural identity. For many Latin Americans, Spanish or Portuguese represent their heritage, their history, and their connection to their communities. Preserving these languages is seen as essential to maintaining cultural continuity and passing on traditions to future generations. Furthermore, many indigenous languages in Latin America are experiencing a revival as communities strive to reconnect with their ancestral roots. Language revitalization efforts, often led by indigenous groups themselves, aim to preserve endangered languages and promote their use in education, cultural events, and daily life. Section 8. A World of Languages. The world is a tapestry woven with thousands of languages, each a testament to the diversity of human culture and experience. While English may be a global language, it is essential to recognize and appreciate the value of linguistic diversity. Each language carries within it a unique worldview, a way of understanding and interpreting the world around us. To lose a language is to lose a part of human heritage, a silencing of voices that have echoed through generations. Section 9. Embracing linguistic diversity. In an increasingly interconnected world, the ability to communicate across linguistic barriers is undoubtedly important. However, it should not come at the expense of linguistic diversity. Instead of asking why Latin Americans don't speak English, perhaps we should celebrate the richness and resilience of their linguistic heritage. Let us embrace a world where multiple languages can coexist and thrive, where communication is a bridge between cultures, not a barrier. By appreciating the value of linguistic diversity, we foster a more inclusive and understanding world.